Good morning. In last lecture we had discussed about the some basics related to heat transfer. Now we start the today's lecture. So first is the what is the heat transfer. We already seen the definition of the heat. Heat is the energy in transit term as a heat. The heat is defined as the form of energy which can be transferred from one system to another system across the boundaries due to the temperature distance existing between the two systems. So now what is the heat transfer? Heat transfer is the thermal energy in transit due to the temperature difference. Second point is the what is the thermal energy? Thermal energy is associated with the translational energy, rotational energy, vibrational energy, and electronic states of the atoms and molecules that comprise a matter. It represents the cumulative effect of the microscopic activities and is directly linked to the temperature of matter. The heat transfer are of two types. First type is the steady state heat transfer. Steady state heat transfer means the system is said to be steady state if the temperature within the system at any specific location or surface remains constant. It does not change with times. Means temperature does not change with time. It's called as the steady state heat transfer. We know the internal energy of the system is the function of the temperature. It implies that internal energy of the system remains constant under steady state. It also suggested that rate of heat energy into the system must be equal to the rate of heat energy out of the system. The example of steady state heat transfer is the heating a metal rod at constant temperature. Second type of the heat transfer is the unsteady state heat transfer, or it is also called as the transient heat transfer. So unsteady state heat transfer means temperature varies with time. This is it the function of both the location and time. In unsteady state heat transfer, temperature is varies with time. The example of the unsteady state heat transfer is the startup of the furnace, heat treatment of the solids. These are the example of the unsteady state heat transfer. Next point is the modes of the heat transfer. So the heat transfer can be transferred from one substance to another substance by the following three modes of heat transfer. First is the conduction. So conduction of heat can be defined as the transfer of heat from one part of the substance to the another part of the same substance without appreciable motion of the molecules. The conduction can take place in solid, liquid and gases. Also the conduction can be defined as the conduction is the transfer of heat of one part of the substance to the another part of the substance in physical contact with it. The example of conduction is the, for example, when frying vegetable when frying a vegetable in a pan, heat transfer takes place from flame to the pan, then to the vegetables. Or second example is the place your hand against a window or place metal into the open flame. Second mode of heat transfer is the convection. The process of heat convection is due to the capacity of moving matter to carry heat energy. The transfer of heat by convection takes place between the solid surface and the adjacent liquid or gas layer that is in motion. Means it is the heat transfer between the solid surface and the fluid when fluid is in motion. The example of convection is the um, air conditioners, radiators, air cooled engine. These are the examples of the convection. Third mode of heat transfer is the radiation. So the process of heat transfer by radiation is due to the electromagnetic radiation emitted in a wavelength band between the 0.1, means the radiation is the transfer of heat energy of radiation does not require presence of any material medium, as in case of heat transfer by conduction and convection. The example of the radiation is the sun rays coming to the earth. Every body emits the heat. This picture shows the conduction, convection and radiation again. Conduction, energy transfer by direct contact. First picture shows energy transfer by direct contact. Second is the convection. Convection is the energy transfer from solid surface to the fluid when fluid is in motion. And third is the radiation. Radiation is the heat transfer by electromagnetic radiation. How heat is transferred? There are three ways of the heat can be transferred. In this picture shows the conduction, convection and radiation example. First we put a hot metal, we put a metal rod on flame, means energy transfer direct through the contact is the conduction. Then convection is the heat transfer to the surrounding air is the convection. And third is the everybody, we know everybody radiate the heat, so this flame radiate the heat is the radiation. So conduction, convection and radiation. Again modes of heat transfer. Conduction, so heat is transferred from T1 to T2. Inlet temperature of that wall is the T1 and outlet temperature is the T2. So heat is transferred by conduction. Q is the rate of heat transfer. Second is the convection. So here Ts is the surface temperature and this T infinity is the temperature of the moving fluid. So heat is transferred from this surface to the fluid when fluid is in motion. Surface temperature is always greater than the fluid temperature. And third is the radiation. So there are two surfaces, there is a heat exchange between the two surface which has a temperature T1 and surface which has a temperature T2. Q1 is the heat transfer from the surface first and Q2 is the heat transfer from the surface second. So heat is radiated between the two surfaces which does not require the any matter. The process of heat conduction has been defined as the transfer of heat energy through a substance without any appreciable motion of the molecules from the region of high temperature to a lower temperature. This mode of heat transfer by conduction is accomplished by the following two mechanisms. First is the migration of the free electron, or transferred by transfer of the free electron, and second is the bilattice vibration. So first is the free electron diffusion. The mechanism of heat conduction and the mechanism of transport of electric current are both highly dependent on the free flow of free electrons. So what is the free electron? Free electron means the valence electrons in the outermost orbit of an atom get excited on availability of energy. They overcome the binding force to become free and move. So within the boundaries of the solid, these electrons are called as the free electrons. So see in figure, these red dot are the free electrons. These electrons are called the free electrons, and a large number of electrons move about in their lattice, import their energy from higher level to lower level. The process of heat conduction occur in all substances, that is solid, liquid and gases. The pure conduction is found only in solids. The solids which are good electric conductors are large number of free electrons and move and vibrate in a lattice, means energy is transferred due to the movement of these free electrons in solids. These solids are called the metals. For this reason materials are good electric conductors and also good heat conductor. For example, silver, copper and aluminum, means in metals the free electrons are present in more, so heat is transfer more. Second is the thermal conduction by lattice vibration. So the molecules of substance are continuously vibrate in random orientation about the same mean position. These vibrations are called as the lattice vibrations. We know that kinetic energy of molecule in case of liquids and gases is due to their random translational, rotational and vibrational motions. However, these all solids may vibrate in their lattice. The temperature of the substance correspond to kinetic energy, that is, higher is the average kinetic energy of the molecules and higher will be the temperature of the substance. The molecules of the solid materials while vibrating, so see in figure, the molecules of the solid material while vibrating, the molecules of the solid material while vibrating, they collide with each other, and the molecules having higher kinetic energy, transfer energy to the molecules having some energy to impact to adjacent molecule having lower kinetic energy. Means molecules having higher kinetic energy transfer energy to the adjacent molecules having lower kinetic energy. This type of energy transfer will continuously takes place, and substances as longer as their existing temperature gradient, and therefore the rate of heat transfer due to the lattice vibration depends on the rate of collision between the molecules. So heat conduction can take place in substance by the two way. First is the by transport of the free electron, they transport of the free electron, and second is the by lattice vibration. Next point is the conductors and insulators. So what is the conductors? Conductors, some materials conduct heat better than the others. Materials that transfer heat well are called as the conductors. Usually the metals are the good conductors, and second is the insulators. The material that resist the transfer of heat through them are called insulators. There are poor conductors of heat. Some examples are air, wood, water, polystyrene, styrofoam, wool and fiberglass, paper and plastics. Means the example of conductors are some metals, silver, copper and aluminum. Examples of the insulators are air, wood, water, polystyrene, styrofoam, wool, fiberglass and paper and plastic. So this is the difference between conductors and insulator. Conductors conduct the heat better than the insulators. There is the one question: why does metal feel colder than the wood if they are both at the same temperature? So answer of that question is the metal is the conductor and wood is the insulator. Metal conducts heat away from the hands and wood does not conduct the heat away from the hands as well as metals, so that feels warmer than the metal. The property of material that enables the transfer of heat energy by conduction is called as the thermal conductivity. Next is the Fourier's law of heat conduction. Fourier in 1822 had proposed the empirical law of heat conduction based on the general observation, which is called as the Fourier's law of heat conduction. So this law states that the rate of heat flow through a simple homogeneous solid is directly proportional to the area measured to the normal direction of heat flow and temperature gradient in the direction of the heat flow. So see in figure, there is a one plane wall, there is a temperature difference T1 and T2, inlet temperature T1 and outlet temperature T2. A is the area of the that wall, Q is the rate of heat transfer. In last lecture we had seen the rate of heat transfer. The rate of heat transfer is the heat transfer per unit time, is called as the heat transfer and it is denoted by the letter Q. So this law states that the heat conduction per unit area, heat conduction Q per unit area is directly proportional to the temperature gradient. Temperature gradient means dt is the temperature difference, dt is the T2 minus T1 and dx is the thickness of that wall. So and the constant of proportionality is called as the K. K is the thermal conductivity of the material. Thermal conductivity is the ability of material to conduct the heat. So q by a is equal to minus k dt by dx. So q is equal to minus ka dt by dx. So q is the rate of heat transfer, a is the heat transfer area normal to the direction of heat flow, dt by dx is the temperature difference in degrees Celsius per minute, dt is the T2 minus T1, this temperature difference, and dx is the thickness of the wall. This total term is called as the temperature gradient, and constant of proportionality K is called as the thermal conductivity of the material, and the unit of the thermal conductivity is the watt per meter degree Celsius or watt per meter Kelvin. So this negative sign indicates that the dt is negative in the direction of heat flow, because heat always flow from higher temperature to the lower temperature. This negative sign of K is indicate that decreasing temperature along with increasing the thickness, decreasing the temperature along with the increasing the thickness. That's why we take here negative sign. This negative sign indicates that decreasing temperature along with the increasing the thickness. Next point is the thermal conductivity. We seen that different materials store the heat differently, and we have defined the property, that is specific heat. We already studied the specific heat in the subject thermodynamics. The specific heat is denoted by Cp. So Cp is the measure the material's ability to store the thermal energy. For example, Cp of water is equal to 4.186 kilojoule per kg degree Celsius, or Cp of the that iron rod at room temperature is the 0.45 kilojoule per kg degree Celsius, which can indicate that water can almost store the 10 times of energy that of the iron per unit mass. Likewise, the thermal conductivity is the ability of material to conduct the heat. For example, K of water, thermal conductivity of water is the 0.08 watt per meter Kelvin, and the thermal conductivity of the iron is the 0.608 watt per meter Kelvin, and that of water is the thermal conductivity of the water is the 0.608 watt per meter Kelvin, and thermal conductivity of the iron is the 80.2 watt per meter Kelvin, from which indicates that iron conduct more heat than the water. So thermal conductivity of material is the rate of heat transfer through a unit thickness of the material per unit area per unit temperature difference. Thermal conductivity is denoted by the letter K. So K is equal to minus Q. Q is the rate of heat transfer. A is the area of that wall upon dt by dx. dt by dx is the temperature gradient, dt is the temperature difference, and dx is the thickness. So thermal conductivity of material is the measure the how fast it will flow in the material. Larger the value of thermal conductivity indicates that material is the good conductor. We already seen the conductors. All metals are the good heat conductors, and low value of the material is a poor heat conductor or insulator. So thermal conductivity depends essentially upon the following factors. First is the material structure, second is the moisture content, third is the density of the material, and fourth is the pressure and temperature. So for example, thermal conductivity of the silver is the 410 watt per meter Kelvin, copper 385 watt per meter Kelvin, aluminium 225 watt per meter Kelvin, then cast iron 55 watt per meter Kelvin, steel 20 watt per meter Kelvin, concrete 1.20, glass 0.75, asbestos sheet 0.17, then glass wool 0.03, and water 0.55, and freon 0.008 watt per meter Kelvin. The unit of the thermal conductivity is the watt per meter Kelvin. So thermal conductivity of material is decreasing from, first is the metal has the highest thermal conductivity, then second is the non-metallic solids, then liquids, and then gases, and after that there is a insulating material which has the lowest thermal conductivity. This graph shows the thermal conductivity in the increasing order. First is the gases, then liquids, then insulating material, non-metallic solid, alloys, and pure metals. Pure metals has a higher thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity, unit of the thermal conductivity is the watt per meter Kelvin. So thermal conductivity values of the solid may be more than the 4 times larger than that of the gases. Next is the convection. Second mode of heat transfer is the convection. It is observed that the fluids are always in direct contact with the solids. Due to this, heat transfer takes place from heated solid surface to the colder fluid or hotter fluid, the cold surface, as consequence of the motion of the fluid. So the process of heat transfer between the solid surface and the fluid moving fast to the surface is called as the convection. So convection is the transfer of heat from solid surface to the fluid when fluid is in motion. So convection are of two types. Classification of convection. Convection is classified into the two types. First is the free or natural convection, and second is the forced convection. What is the difference between the natural and forced convection? So first is the natural convection. The natural convection is the heat transfer. The heat transfer between the solid and the fluid takes place due to the circulation of the fluid by virtue of the natural difference in densities of the cold and hot fluids. It is called as the free or natural convection. So convection takes place between the solid and the fluid is due to the difference in densities of the fluid and the solid surface. And second is the forced convection. Forced convection is the rate of convective heat transfer that external force such as fans, blowers are used to cool the fluid is called as the forced convection. The example of the natural and forced convection is that, for example, if we boiled egg, so cooling down the boiled egg when kept in a normal air, so heat is transferred from egg to the surrounding air is called as the natural convection. And forced convection is that if we put the fan in front of the boiled egg, the egg is cooled by the external means by the fan. This is called the forced convection. So this is example of the forced and natural convection. We see in the Fourier's law of heat conduction. This law is related to the conduction. Second law is the Newton's law of cooling, which is related to the convection. So the rate of convective heat transfer between the surface and the fluid was suggested by the Newton's, is known as the Newton's law of cooling. So the Newton's law of cooling states that rate of heat transfer is proportional to the surface area perpendicular to the heat flow direction and the temperature difference between the wall surface and the fluid temperature. So Q convective is equal to HAS Ts minus T infinity. Q convective is equal to HAS Ts minus T infinity. H is the convective heat transfer coefficient. H is the small h. H is the convective heat transfer coefficient between the solid surface and the fluid. It is the coefficient between the solid surface and the fluid. A is the surface area through which convection transfer takes place. For example, this is a solid surface and fluid is flow over the surface. So Ts is the temperature of the surface and T infinity is the temperature of the fluid. So Q and H is the coefficient between the surface and the fluid. So convective transfer coefficient is the unit of the convective transfer coefficient is the watt per meter square per degree Celsius. Second is the surface area AS. Ts is the surface temperature and T infinity is the fluid temperature. So this law states that the rate of heat transfer Q is proportional to the surface area to the heat flow direction and the temperature difference between the wall surface temperature Ts and the temperature of fluid T infinity. So these are the typical values for the H. H is the convective heat transfer coefficient between the solid surface and the fluid, and unit of the H is the watt per meter square degree Celsius. So free convection gases 2 to 225 watt per meter degree Celsius, and in liquid 50 to 100. And second is the forced convection. Free convection, forced convection gases having a H is equal to 25 to 250 watt per meter square degree Celsius, and liquid 50 to 20,000 watt per meter degree Celsius, and boiling and condensation 2500. So the H is more in boiling and condensation, and as compared to the free and forced convection, the value of H is more in forced convection. There are some questions related to convection. Why does hot air rise and cold air sink in a day time? So cool air is more denser than the warm air, so the cool air falls through the warm air. That's why hot air rise and cold air sink in a day. Second, what are boiler face hot water tanks between the homes? People's home. What water rises? So when the boiler heats the water rises up and water tank is filled with hot water. Third mode of heat transfer is the thermal radiation. Thermal radiation is the mode of heat transfer in which energy transmitted by the substance in the form of electromagnetic waves because of its temperature. The example of the radiation is the heat energy. Heat energy gets from the sun to the earth. So does not require any medium. It does not require any medium. Fastest. There is no particles between the sun and the earth. There is no particle between the sun and the earth, so it cannot travel by conduction or convection. So it is traveled by the radiation. Examples of radiations are fires, heat lamps, and sun. Every body radiates the heat. Next is the Stefan-Boltzmann law, which is related to the radiation. So Stefan-Boltzmann law states that emissive power of black body is directly proportional to the fourth power of its absolute temperature. Emissive power means emissive power of any surface is defined as energy emitted by the surface per unit area per unit time, and unit of the emissive power is the watt per meter square. So Stefan-Boltzmann law states that emissive power of the black body is emissive power of the black body is directly proportional to the fourth power of its absolute temperature, and the constant of proportionality is the sigma, which is called as the Stefan-Boltzmann constant. It has a fixed value 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 8 watt per meter square into k to the power 4. So black body is the idealized surface that emits radiation at the maximum rate. Eta is the emissivity of the body, which is already seen. Emissive power is the energy emitted by the surface per unit area per unit time. So emissivity for the black body is equal to 1, and for the real bodies it is in between 0 to 1. And Stephen Boltzmann law is equal to emissive power is equal to sigma. Sigma is the Stephen Boltzmann constant, area of the surface, and Ts is the absolute temperature of the body, fourth power of its absolute temperature. Next, radiation question: why are houses painted in white hot climates? So white reflects heat radiation and keeps the house cooler. Next question is the why sky is blue in the day and sunset is yellowish and orange? The answer of that question is the sunlight reaches to the Earth's atmosphere and it scatters in all directions by the gases and particles in the air. So blue or violet color is a scatter more than other colors because of its travels as a shorter, smaller waves. This is why sky is blue in most of the time in the daytime. So in daytime the blue color is scattered more, and early in the morning and late in the evening the sun rays passes through a large thickness of the atmosphere, and the violet and blue colors reduces their intensity, so large number of scattering thus does not reach the earth's surface, while the color correspond to the longer wavelengths such as yellow and orange red reach to the earth's atmosphere and making the sunset and sunrise as reddish. Four containers are filled with warm water. Which container would have the warmest water in the 10 minutes? The shiny metal container would be the warmest after 10 minutes because its shiny surface reflects heat radiation back into the container, so less heat is lost. So dull black container would have be the coolest because it is emitting heat from the container. Second is the absorption experiment. Four containers were placed in equidistance from a heater. Which container would be the warmest after 10 minutes? So the dull black container would be the warmest after 10 minutes because its surface absorbs more heat radiation, and the shiny metal container would be the coolest because uh, it reflecting the heat radiation. Which of the following is not a matter of the heat transfer? So we know that radiation, conduction and convection are the method of the heat transfer. Insulation. Second question: in which of the following are the particles are closest together in solids? How does heat energy reach to the from the earth's surface? By radiation. Which is the best surface of the reflecting heat radiation? Shiny metal. Which is the base surface of the absorbing heat radiation? Dull black. So what we learned, the heat conduction occurs from heated end of the color heated end of a cooler end. Two mechanism by conduction. First is the molecular vibration and free electron diffusion. Second, heat convection. Third mode of heat radiation. Thank you.